Hey, what's going on everybody? Steve here, Rake and Profit over at rakeandprofit.com. And in this video, I want to share with you a very valuable exercise that everybody should be doing, especially business owners, each and every month. You know, we fall into the trap of consistently just focusing on finding more inventory, listing more items, growing sales, making more and more money. But at the end of the day, what really matters most? It's how much profit you keep. And ultimately, even deeper than that, is your net worth. Now, if you're not familiar with the term net worth, it's essentially all of your assets minus your liabilities. So everything that you own minus all of your debts, that's your net worth. And each and every month, you should be tracking that. Right? You should be tracking that every single month because that's the ultimate scorecard. That's what matters most. You can have a business that's bringing in $40,000, $50,000 a month. You know, there's drop shippers, there's people who run e-commerce stores, there's Amazon private labelers who are doing, $1 million a month. But at the end of the day, some of them are only showing a couple % profit. Now, if you have enough sales, that's great. But at the end of the day, what's your net worth? Is it growing? Is it increasing? Or is it decreasing? And over the last 7 months, my net worth has gone from $436,000 to $596,000. Now, I'm not going to tell you that it's because of this exercise. There's a couple things that have been going really well behind the scenes that I'll discuss. But this is an exercise that will start to get your mind focused on what matters most. Because the human brain, it's kind of like a missile. The human brain always wants a target and it's always trying to get from point A to point B the quickest way possible. So if you have the wrong target, your brain's gonna be constantly focused on going the wrong place, right? The wrong location. And a lot of us are just focused on sales, right? Did our eBay sales grow? Did the money in our bank account go up? That's great. But there's so many things behind the scenes that we're gonna talk about. So I'm actually gonna put a free downloadable link down below. So I'm actually gonna put a spreadsheet on the screen, which I'm gonna go through with you right now. And I'm gonna give you this spreadsheet. And I want you to do this every single month. Once a month, just pick a day. I'm gonna share exactly how I do it, how I go through all my assets, all my income, my bank accounts, my credit cards, my liabilities, my dates, my accounts, my debts, my accounts payable, everything, okay? So check out the link after you watch this video, download it, it's gonna be 100% free, and this is something that can really help you to take your finances to the next level. So without further ado, I'm gonna put my screen on the video right now, and what you see right here is the exact spreadsheet that I use. Now, I use it on a Google Doc, which means it's on the cloud, so I can access it from anywhere. This is an Excel spreadsheet, and you could actually turn this into a Google Doc if you want. You could just hire somebody off of Upwork or Fiverr to, kind of move it over for you if you're not good with that and you're not good with setting up the different things that go into having the boxes auto-populate. I actually have a virtual assistant who built this out for me. So let's dive into this, okay? Let's go through exactly how to track your net worth. So I'll kind of give like a 30,000 foot overview real quick. So this net worth sheet is broken into a couple different sections. Well, there's 3 main sections. There's your assets, there's your liabilities, and then there's gonna be your ultimate, your overall net worth, and then your net worth change per month. Now, this is great to look at because this gives you a real snapshot into how you're doing. How are you doing right now? How are you doing this month compared to last month? Because at the end of the day, net worth is what matters the most. Who cares if you're making more sales? Who cares if your business is growing if you're not building your net worth? So let's start with your assets first. And what you're gonna do each and every month, I just pick a day. I pick a day, it could be the 26th, it could be the 28th, it could be the 30th, but I usually pick a day about 4 or 5 days before the month closes, and I go through every single one of my accounts, okay? And I just fill it out. So let's go through some of these right now. So the first section is gonna be cash and bank accounts, okay? So cash on hand is gonna be any amount of money that you have in your possession, right? If I was to open my wallet, I probably have $400 cash in my wallet. If you have cash, maybe it's in a vault or, a safe box or something like that. If it's not in a bank account, if you've got someone holding a couple $100s for you, I don't know for what reason, you're gonna put this in at cash at hand. Next up, we're gonna have our checking accounts and our savings accounts. Now, when you download this free spreadsheet, you can add more. Like for example, I have 6 checking accounts because I have checking accounts for real estate, I have checking accounts for different businesses. I have different savings accounts for the different buckets that I have. So like I have an emergency fund bucket, I have a bucket for taxes, I have a bucket for different things. So depending on how many checking accounts you have, you can add these here. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go into the checking account and you're just gonna pull up that number and you're gonna fill it in here. So let's go ahead and, for example's sake, just start filling out some numbers. So let's just say I have $400 on hand, and that should auto-populate to your net worth down here. Awesome. Okay, so next up, we're gonna do personal checking account. And what I like to do is put my last 4 digits, or you could just put your own personal name here, okay? So let's fill this out and let's just say I have 27,000 in this account. I have 54,000 in this account. In my savings, I have 4,000. And again, feel free to change up or rearrange the names, or if you have to add, maybe you have a CD or maybe you have, multiple retirement accounts, which we're gonna go through. Feel free to add and subtract the different sections based on, your finances and whatnot. Okay, next we have our PayPal personal. So for the eBay sellers out there, we have PayPal accounts. Sometimes we have a balance in there. So put down that number in your PayPal account. Maybe you have $400 in there, right? I don't suggest keeping a ton of money in there. And then your business bank accounts as well. So maybe you have 3,000 in or 4,000 in this bank account. Maybe you have another business bank account with 3,000 in it. Maybe you have a business savings. I don't have a business savings, but maybe you have one of those. And then maybe you have a PayPal for your business, right? So some people, I have a personal PayPal that I only use for personal stuff, and then I have a PayPal that's only for business. And that's, that's finances 101, that's bookkeeping 101. You want to make sure that you split off everything that's personal and split off everything that's business so you can easily track your books, okay? And in the PayPal business right here, let's just say we have $500 in there. Okay, so what that's gonna do is it's gonna add up, and you can see we have the months up here. So I started this for July because I'm shooting this in June, so you guys can start that. You're gonna see this is our net worth so far, 94,000. But we're not done yet. Now we have to go through our investments and retirement. Now, maybe you don't have any investments accounts, right? I have a TD Ameritrade. I think that's a brand new account I just set up. A Vanguard. Maybe you have a different investment account, but whatever that is, holding your stocks, bonds, mutual funds, index funds, put that down. So in one of my accounts, I have in my retirement account is 120,000. In this other one, it's 25,000. Let's say cryptocurrency. Right now I think I have around 15,000 cryptocurrency. And then I don't have a 401k. I'm putting I have a SEP IRA, and we're actually switching that over to something new. Lately, I just hired a financial planner, so I'll talk about that in another video. But let's just say, there's 0 for that. So this is all gonna add to your net worth right here. So far we're up to 254,000. Okay, now we're gonna go on to our property, okay? So this could be personal property, this could be real estate, this can be jewelry, art, this could be, your automobile, this could be, the value of all your computers, your cameras, and I split this up. So again, feel free to go in here and add, subtract, so on and so forth. But for real estate, right now I have 3 houses. So, one of my properties, the value is 435,000. Another one is 300,000. And you can get this you could talk to a local real estate agent, or you could just go on Zillow and just take that number, right? Now, obviously there's selling fees and whatnot. If you sell it through an agent, you can subtract that off if you want, but I just put my present value there. I have a Toyota Tacoma that's worth about 23,000 right now. Got about 5,000 in silver. I'm just making up some examples. Jewelry, art, collectibles, again, I'm just making up numbers. Let's say I have 10,000. This can include couches, TVs. You can just pretty much add up all the the values, the resale values of all the stuff in your house, inside of your house, right? Your personal property. If you have any other personal property that you didn't mention, you can put that there as well. So there's our property. Now it shows our net worth at over $1 million, but don't get too excited because we haven't talked about any of our debts or liabilities. So let's continue going through the business. Maybe you have some business assets. Maybe you have, $4,000 worth of inventory. Maybe you've got $5,000 worth of Amazon inventory. And again, you can just go into your inventory and you can see how much you have and kind of guesstimate what the value of that is. I would be conservative. And then other assets is going to be accounts receivable. So say, maybe you did a job for somebody, or somebody owes you some money for a service or some consultation work that you did. Let's just say you've got a $2,500 check coming next week, or maybe you did, an affiliate promotion and you've got, $14,000 coming next month or in 2 months, right? If it's coming farther in advance, sometimes I'll just wait and put it in the next month, or I'll notate what that money's for just so I know when it comes to the next month. So these are all of our assets. These are all of the things that are worth money, right? Obviously cash. Another thing to notice, if you have a business that's worth money, so for example, a lot of e-commerce brands and businesses out there, they sell for multiples of 2 to 3x their profit per year. So I have a friend of mine who, does a couple $100,000 a year in profit, and he could probably sell his e-commerce store if you wanted to for $400,000 to $600,000. So you can take a conservative value of your business if it's sellable. Like for me, let's just talk about my brand, Rake and Profit. It's not really sellable. I don't put that towards my assets or net worth, even though it makes me money every month with my YouTube channel. I've got different things, different income sources coming in. I can't really sell it. So I don't put a value on it. But for like a wholesale business or an e-commerce store or something like that, right? A brick and mortar that you can sell, then I would apply a value to that, and you can definitely add that to your assets. So now we have the assets complete. We have about $1 million in there of assets in this theoretical example. Now we're gonna go down to liabilities, okay? So accounts payable 1 and 2, I just gave you a couple spaces for maybe money that you owe. So for example, I hired an interior decorator for my new house that I moved into right now, and I know that I'm gonna be paying $1,500 next month for that, right? I also know that I hired a videographer. I did a bunch of videos. We did a whole bunch of graphic design work, and I know that I'm gonna have a $4,000 bill due next month. So I'm just gonna take that off, right? Because I know it's gonna be coming out. Auto loan is for the loan that you owe on your vehicle. So maybe you owe $15,000 on your vehicle. If you have any business loans, then I would add this here as well because that is a debt. Now we're gonna get to the credit cards. So what I do is every single month I just log in and I view my credit card statement. I see how much is owed on that. Now, usually about 4 or 5 days before, I like to pay off all my credit cards. So it's a very low balance and all the transfers and everything went through, because you could start to get inaccurate information if you pay off a credit card yesterday and then you come in and it's gonna still say the balance, but it actually pulled it out of your account and it just didn't transfer over yet. So I like to pay everything off like 4 or 5 days before, just to make sure I'm getting accurate data, with my bank accounts, credit cards, and all of that. So here, let's just pretend it's 0 for this example. For all the credit cards, you're being a good boy and girl and you're paying off your credit cards every single month. That's what I do. Next, we're gonna go into our debts with real estate. So maybe on one of my properties, I have a $300,000 debt. The other one, I have a $186,000 debt. So that's the balance on your mortgage. So that's your equity, right? What's the house worth versus how much do you owe on the property? What's left is your equity minus, selling fees and whatnot, okay? Next, we're gonna go through student loans. So if you have a student loan, let's add that there. If you have any other loans, let's add that there. If you have unpaid taxes, you can also add that there. And again, there could be, other things that I'm missing under liabilities. Now, I'm not tracking, for example, if I have a $240, student loan payment, or I have a $300 monthly payment for my car, or $2,000 rent. I'm not tracking any of that because I'm already tracking my bank accounts. I'm tracking how much money I have. I'm tracking how much overall liabilities I have. That's the net worth, right? I'm not looking for like a cash flow statement. I'm looking to just get a picture of what's my overall net worth. All my assets minus all my debts. That's what I am worth. Okay, and what's cool with this sheet is it's gonna automatically fill in that information for you. And it's also going to fill in, let's see if this works. I haven't tested it. It's also gonna fill in what your net worth change was from the previous month. So I just put a theoretical $500,000 and 72 bucks here for the next month. I haven't filled anything out, and it's telling me that it had almost a 0.5% increase. So this is a great tool to use. So this is what I want you to do every single month. Well, first off, I want you to download this. You can use the Excel sheet. If you don't like Excel, you can pay someone to move this over to a Google Doc. I would have given you a Google Doc, but it's a little harder to share. So download that, get that set up. And then what I want you to do right now or towards the end of the month, go through and just add everything up. Add up all the cash, all your checking accounts, savings accounts, retirement accounts, the values of your properties. If you don't have any, don't worry about it. And just really go through everything. And this is great because this is gonna start to get your brain and get your mind focused on what matters most, which is growing your net worth. Now, obviously, it's important to build your business, and you need to make sure that you're building your business because you could track your net worth all day long. If you don't have a business, if you're not, adding value to the marketplace to grow income, then it doesn't matter at the end of the day. So I'm not saying, running your business isn't important, but I'm just almost in a sense assuming that you're already running a business, you're already successful, you're already doing everything you can to grow your income. This is what matters most. And this is gonna lead to other things that we're gonna talk about, such as budgeting and bookkeeping and different things to manage your finances, right? One of the things that I've been doing recently is I hired a bookkeeper to track all of my personal expenses every single month. So tracking all of my food, groceries, everything. So I could start to make changes and make adjustments. And what you're gonna start to be able to do and notice is each month, if it increases or it decreases, you're gonna start to see why, right? Maybe it's decreasing because you're overspending too much on vacations, or maybe it's increasing because maybe, like for example, in my situation, my net worth's really increased lately because my multifamily properties have been, increasing in value so much, right? So this is just a great tool, a great strategy. Every single month, this is something that you should be doing. And if you're not doing it, I'm telling you right now, you're missing out because you want to have your mind and your brain focused on what matters most, right? Which is growing your net worth, because that's the ultimate resource. So you can get this downloadable spreadsheet in the description below. Just put in your email. I'll send that over to you. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. We tried our best to make this spreadsheet pretty much replicating the one that I've been using. We added a couple things. You might want to subtract some things. If you have any tips or suggestions to improve it, let me know and we'll optimize this even more. But with that being said, smash that like button if you enjoyed this video. Make sure you do this exercise, and after you do it, let me know, was it better? Was it worse than you expected? Have you ever done this before? Will you continue to do this? And hopefully you found value in this video. So with that being said, keep on picking and making that money, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.